Here we have the March 2021 freshwater trout and redfin box. Alright, no surface stuff this month, so I'm just going to dive straight into the hard bodies that we've got included for this one. So first up is the Era SS by Demiki. So this thing is a little shallow diving hard body. Great looking little lure, but obviously because that little tiny bib on the front means it's only going to be a shallow runner. So this is going to be a perfect little stream trout lure. Just running it shallow in the streams, or even your redfin if you got some weedy edges in shallower water where you can swim this over the weed or down the side of the weed. It can be perfect for that. I like to get a bit twitchy for the redfin. For the trout, I'm just going to keep maybe a faster, constant roll up, get them chasing after it and wanting to whack it. And the next one is going to be another shallow hard body as well, but this one is a floating one. So this one, if you get twitchy and pause it, it's going to slow float back up, therefore mimicking a little wounded bait fish. So both have their pros and cons. The Pontoon 21, the second one, is a shallower lure. So if you're finding that with the Demiki, you're constantly whacking the bottom in your shallow streams, that's when you're going to jump over to the Pontoon 21 and utilize the float, the fast float that is in this lure. But both will cover those grounds easily. Just gauge how deep you're going to be fishing and choose appropriately. Then we move over to a little spinnerbait here from Strike King. This is an awesome little spinnerbait with a twin hook on the back. So it's a free swinging twin hook on the back. Not a treble. This is a little bit different to the traditional single hook spinnerbait you normally see, with the double on the back. So it's still going to remain fairly weedless because it's a free swinging hook. It means that they can't throw the hook out of their mouth as easily once they're hooked. Tiny little blade on this, so it's going to be perfect for your shallow streams, your edges and your dams. You can let it sink down. It is a 1/4 ounce, so you can actually let this sink down and fish it a little bit deeper as well. So flicking some of your rocky edges, your weedy edges, you can cover a lot of grounds with this. Nice little profile, so it ain't going to be too big for some of the smaller trout in your streams either. And redfin will whack it pretty much no matter the size because they're greedy little buggers. Then last but not least, we've got some soft plastics in here. So these are the GG Claw in a 3-inch. So they're a little yabby profile soft plastic, and we have included jig heads to suit from TT 1/810 jig heads in these. So rig it from the back, so the weight is on the arse end of the yabby itself. With the 1/8 weighted jig head, this is going to give you a fairly slow sink rate. So you're going to work this really slow along the bottom. Cast out, let it sink down. Those little claws on the yabby will just be there doing its thing, looking like it's in a defensive pose. And just a couple tiny little hops and slow wind. Just slowly work this back, especially if you see some weedy edges and rocks as well, some good structure where the yabbies and the shrimp and stuff are going to be holding out is absolutely perfect. But if you do come across, say, a whole bunch of fish on your sounder, there's certainly no reason why you can't just drop that straight in their face and get them nibbling on it. But that's it for the Trout and Redfin box this month. If you want to grab this one or look at any of the others in the range, just head to www.tackleclub.com.au, pick a box that's right for you, and welcome to the club.